Now, the High Court today cleared the Health Secretary, Jeremy Hunt, of wrongly imposing a new junior doctors contract on NHS employers. A group founded by 5 doctors called Justice for Health had argued that Mr Hunt acted beyond the scope of his powers, but a judge dismissed that complaint, and afterwards the government called for junior doctors to end the threat of further strikes. Well, with me is Dr Julia Patterson, a psychiatry senior house officer with the Junior Doctors Alliance. And a very good evening to you, Dr Patterson. Well, I mean, this is a clear win for the government, isn't it?
No, I don't think junior doctors feel like that at all. We're still very opposed to the proposed contract. The BMA and its members sort of collectively agree that it's not something that we want to be working under. We don't think it's safe for patients. We don't think it's fair for doctors. It's true that we have failed in this court case today, but I mean, I wonder how much the public knows about this court case, and would you like me to sort of explain
a little bit? Well, let's talk through it, because, you know, I put it to you that it was a win for the government. You don't think it is, but the judge, you know, rejected the 3 grounds of complaint against the Health Secretary: that he acted irrationally, that he had no power to impose the contracts, and that he was in breach of transparency. On all those 3 issues, the judge said no.
So I don't know how closely the public have been following the court case, but some quite revelatory evidence came out last week which shocked everybody. So the court case was on the 19th and 20th of September, and the 5 doctors who took Jeremy Hunt to court were very surprised to find out when they took him to court that he claimed he had never said that he was going to impose this contract on junior doctors in the first place. So the fact that we've lost this court case is it's a sort of non-issue. He was saying that he would never have imposed the contract in the first place anyway. So we've not won the court case, but it's not being imposed by him.
People are going to get very confused. I mean, they'll listen to the words of Mr Justice Green, who said that the Health Secretary acted squarely within his powers. Sounds like a win to me. Sounds like a win to the public, doesn't it?
I think what we're all hoping is that this is going to allow space for the BMA and for junior doctors to renegotiate a contract which is better for the public, the patients and the doctors. What this has allowed doctors is that we're not having an imposition sort of forced upon us. That was what we were made to feel was going to happen. And in fact, that's why the strikes took place. Doctors wouldn't have gone on strike several times earlier this year if they didn't think this contract was being imposed. So that's why the court case existed.
But the contracts can be imposed. But the interesting thing that the judge said, was it not, was that this then is devolved almost to the individual trusts. Is that then, could that change the protest in that you would put pressure on individual trusts?
It's potentially bought us a bit of time, which is something that we were very keen to do. The contract was due to be imposed by Jeremy Hunt on the 5th of October for our obstetrics trainees. Because he's now saying he won't be imposing it, he's now devolving that responsibility to NHS trusts. And NHS providers have actually come out with a statement this afternoon saying that they feel that a national contract would still be the best thing. So they don't want to be making individual trusts decide on contracts. And because of all this, the BMA and the junior doctors now have an opportunity to work together and come up with a better contract.
OK.
And hopefully that will be what happens.
What leverage do you actually have now after the 5-day strikes being called off? Do you feel in a way that the BMA have kind of marched you up, like the Duke of York marched you up to the top of the hill, marched you back down again? It would be very difficult now to say we will continue those strikes, having threatened them and then withdrawn.
Well, the BMA are a democratic union. They listen to their members. I'm from a group called the Junior Doctors Alliance. We're a new group of junior doctors. We are BMA members and we support the BMA, but we also feel that they need to increase their transparency and become more democratic with their members about what steps they're going to take next. Perhaps 5 days of striking wasn't the best option.
But would your grouping still like the option of striking?
I think we would like it to be an option that remains on the table as something that we do talk about. I think doctors are always averse to striking.
But 5 days is too long.
Well, I think that was the decision made by the BMA. What we weren't told by the BMA was where the evidence came from, telling them that it wouldn't be safe. What we would like to know is what was the feedback they received from patients, what was the feedback they received from doctors, telling them it wouldn't be safe, because that information was not openly available to junior doctors.
Well, great talking to you, Dr Patterson. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Julia Patterson there from the Junior Doctors Alliance.